Good afternoon. Thank you for agreeing to participate in this interview. I would like to ask you a few questions regarding the Bhopal disaster. My first question is, when did you first hear about the Bhopal disaster, and do you know roughly what it was about?
I read about it in my 11th grade history textbook. It was one of the worst industrial accidents around the world. Due to inadequate safety systems, a toxic gas leaked around the residential areas in Bhopal on December 3rd, 1984, killing hundreds and causing several illnesses. Many children born to survivors suffered from birth defects, and plant site was never fully cleared up, and toxic waste continued to contaminate soil and groundwater in the area.
Okay. Do you think this disaster became a turning point for industrial safety and environmental standards in India? If so, in what way?
The Bhopal tragedy remains a symbol of environmental negligence and corporate irresponsibility, and it led to stronger industrial safety laws in India and globally. It continues to affect generations in Bhopal and remains a powerful reminder of the cost of regulatory failure.
Okay. Do you believe that justice served to the victims and survivors after the disaster, or is it a story of ongoing injustice?
Yes, it is a matter of ongoing injustice, as it was given an inadequate compensation of $470 million, which was woefully insufficient for the scale of the disaster. The factory site remains contaminated. The toxic chemicals still leach into local soil and groundwater. The thousands of residents continue to suffer from health issues due to ongoing exposure. Children born to survivors have faced high rates of birth defects and developmental disasters. Long-term medical care and rehabilitation efforts have been inconsistent, underfunded.
Okay, I see. How often is the Bhopal disaster remembered or discussed in schools or in the general media in India? Do you think the younger generation is sufficiently informed about it?
The disaster is sometimes included in Indian school discussions, but it doesn't seem to be given constant in-depth treatment in most curricula. It's talked about, but perhaps not as persistently or deeply as the magnitude of the disaster might call for. Media coverage tends to spike around those moments and then fade. The constant depth and follow-through in coverage is lacking.
Okay, my last question is, if a foreigner were to ask you about the Bhopal disaster, how would you explain to them in a single sentence why this event is still important for India?
My one sentence would be as follows. The Bhopal disaster was a 1984 gas leak in India from a US-owned pesticide plant that killed thousands instantly and caused lasting health and environmental damage, becoming one of the world's worst industrial accidents. It's important for India because it exposed deep flaws in industrial regulation, corporate accountability, and public health response. Its unresolved aftermath reminds India of the urgent need for environmental justice, stronger safety laws, and better protection for for vulnerable communities from corporate and state negligence.
Okay, thank you very much for your time and valuable insights.
Thank you for having me.